So picture this. It's Sunday afternoon, and you've got this vision, right? All these perfectly portioned containers lined up in your fridge, each one with its little compartments of protein, veggies, and carbs. You're going to be that mom who has it all together. Fast forward to Tuesday at 10 to 6 p.m., and you're staring at those containers while your kids are melting down, your partner just texted, and they're running late. And honestly, pizza sounds really good right about now. Yes, I've been there. Welcome back to the Macro Mindset Podcast. I'm Catherine, and if that scenario hit a little too close to home, you're in the right place today. Because here's what I want you to know. Meal prep doesn't have to look Instagram perfect to work. In fact, I'd argue that the prettier it looks, for many of us, the less likely it is to actually work for real moms with busy lives. What if I told you there's a way to prep that actually bends with your chaotic life instead of breaking the moment things don't go according to plan? Today, I'm sharing my flexible framework approach that's helped me finally crack the code on meal prep that actually sticks. And guess what? It has nothing to do with matching containers, and I'm never in the kitchen on Sundays cooking for hours. And here's what I want you to remember today. Every single failed meal prep attempt isn't actually a failure at all. It's information. It's your meal prep system telling you what doesn't work for your life. And that's actually incredibly valuable information that most people ignore because they're too busy feeling bad about themselves. Let's change this today. Okay, first things first, we need to completely redefine what successful meal prep looks like. Because honestly, the traditional meal prep model was designed for bodybuilders and fitness competitors. These people eat the exact same thing at the exact same time every single day. I commend them for their diligence, but through all my years of coaching, that type of lifestyle isn't realistic or something people want to do. They have set their life up solely around their nutrition and fitness. Although, I must say, eating similar meals can be a great way to establish a routine, especially if you're just starting out with a goal of eating healthier or tracking your macros. Like I said, for many people, it isn't realistic in the long term. That's probably not your life. Your life might involve a 7-year-old who loved broccoli last week, but now claims it's poison. A teenager who needs to eat their body weight in food because of a growth spurt. Soccer practice that runs late. Or perhaps work meetings that pop up during dinner time. Real life. So here's what I want you to consider. What if successful meal prep just meant that you had components ready that you could mix and match? I call this the base plus options method, and it's honestly been a game changer for so many women I've worked with. Let me tell you about Jessica. She messaged me practically in tears. She had probably spent hundreds of dollars on meal prep containers, tried every Sunday prep routine she could find online, and by Tuesday of every week, she had given up and felt like a complete failure. Either her family didn't want what she had planned, or they had something that looked way better, or they were out later than they thought because of hockey practice. The next thing she knew, she was at a drive-thru ordering her kids' food, and she thought she might as well get a burger and fries too, because what she had in those containers at home didn't sound so great now. Sound familiar? We talked about this flexible approach. And you know what she does now? She preps protein in bulk. That's it. Just protein. She keeps quick sides on hand has a few go-to sauces in the fridge, and some nights dinner looks fancy. Some nights it's literally protein plus microwave vegetables plus minute rice. But here's the kicker. She told me last week she hasn't had to restart her nutrition plan in 8 months. 8 months. That's a record for her. What Jessica learned, and what I hope you'll take away today, is that adaptability isn't a compromise. It's actually a superpower. When we approach meal prep with a flexible mindset, we're not lowering our standards. We're actually being smarter about what works in real life. And honestly, the people who make the most progress aren't always the ones with the prettiest meal prep. They're the ones who keep showing up imperfectly again and again. As she put it, and I love this. Turns out, lowering the bar helped me actually clear it. Now let's talk about one of my favorite strategies, the Power Hour. This isn't about spending all Sunday in the kitchen. It's about choosing one consistent hour each week where you can focus on just cooking your base components. For me, it's Sunday. While I'm cooking dinner, I'm in the kitchen anyway, right? For you, it might be Saturday morning while they watch cartoons, or Wednesday evening when your partner handles bedtime. The key is consistency and focus. During this hour, you're not making complete meals. You're just cooking proteins and maybe chopping some veggies. That's literally it. But here's where it gets good. Let me give you some real numbers so you can see how this actually works. When I cook 2 pounds of chicken breast, here's what that becomes in my house. For taco filling, that's about 6 servings with roughly 40 grams of protein each. Perfect for our Tuesday taco nights. That same chicken can top Greek salads for lunches. You could get about 5 servings with 35 grams of protein per salad. And when my kids wanted chicken strips, I used that same batch, just cut differently, giving them smaller 25-gram protein portions that were perfect for their needs then. They are older now, so they often cook for me now. See how flexible that is? 1 batch of chicken, 3 totally different meals, and if you're tracking macros, you know exactly what you're working with. So, at the same time, I can bake on a sheet multiple protein sources to have on hand. It's easy to pop some chicken, salmon, and some tofu in the oven with a little olive oil and some seasoning while frying up some ground meat. I don't eat many meats, so often the foods I have are those tofu grounds, but I will prep some turkey or chicken for the family too. The shortcuts that make this work are strategic, not lazy. Pre-cut veggies? Yes, even though they cost more. Your time is worth something too. Microwave rice packets? Absolutely. Frozen veggie steamers? Stock up when they're on sale. These aren't compromises. They're tools that make consistency possible. When I'm walking out of Costco, you'll see me with 3 different types of mixed frozen veggies that I can mix and match all week. If you love fresh veggies, though, go for it. Make a plan to hit your farmer's market too. Shopping local is always smart. As well, I tend to suggest creating a habit of always doubling the amount of veggies you cut at each dinner and packing them away for the next day's snack, or as a side for your lunch. This way, you don't have to set aside a specific time in the week to get all your meal prep done. You just incorporate these little habits when you are already in the kitchen, and bingo, you are all set. Okay, I want to share something that's been really helpful for the women in our community. Not every week is the same, right? Some weeks you're feeling energized and motivated. Other weeks you're just trying to survive. So I've developed 3 different prep styles based on your energy and available time. First, there's minimal prep for those absolutely chaotic weeks. This is your 15-minute game plan. You're buying rotisserie chicken from the grocery store. You're grabbing those microwave rice packets I mentioned. Frozen veggie steamers are your best friend. Pre-washed salad kits. Throw them in the cart. This whole shopping and prep process takes maybe 15 minutes of actual work, but you've got the building blocks for healthy meals all week. Believe me, there is no shame in this game. Fed is best. And yes, I totally count this as meal prep. Then we've got the moderate prep for your normal baseline weeks. This is where that power hour comes in. You're batch cooking 2 proteins, maybe some ground turkey and baked chicken thighs. You make 1 big batch of rice or quinoa. You roast 1 sheet pan of veggies. Boil a dozen eggs while you're at it. Total time? About 60 minutes. But now you got mix and match options for the whole week. And finally, full prep for those high energy weeks when you're feeling ambitious. This includes everything from the moderate prep, plus you're portioning out snacks, prepping grab-and-go breakfast options, maybe making a big soup or casserole for the freezer. We're talking 2 hours max, and you're set up like a meal prep queen. The magic happens when you match your prep style to your energy level, not some arbitrary standard or trend on Instagram you think you should meet. Always ask yourself, what works consistently for you? That is what matters. You. Now let's get real about the family dynamics, because I know this is where things get tricky. You're trying to hit your macro goals, your partner has different preferences, and your kids, well, they're kids. This is where my deconstructed meal approach saves the day. Instead of making 4 different dinners, you're creating components that everyone can customize. Taco night becomes taco bar. Meat, beans, all the toppings laid out. Everyone builds their own. Pasta night, noodles in 1 pot, 2 protein options, 2 sauce choices. Bowl meals are perfect for this. Base grains, various proteins, tons of toppings. And don't forget the salad, or bring out those pre-cut veggies from yesterday's dinner. Your kids get to feel like they have choices, which cuts down on the fighting. You get to build exactly what fits your macros. Your partner can load up on whatever they want. Nobody feels restricted, everyone's fed, and you're not a short order cook. Personal size pizzas are the same. Have everyone build their own, and it works out without the headaches. Let me give you a real example from last week at my house. I made what I call build your own bowl night. The options were brown rice and cauliflower rice as bases, grilled chicken and air-fried tofu for protein, then a whole array of toppings: shredded cheese, salsa, Greek yogurt instead of sour cream, chopped lettuce, tomatoes, avocado, and I love chickpeas, so those too. Of course, having 3 kids, all of them would have different items, but they loved the variety and that they could choose what they wanted along with what their hunger was like at that time. For me, it would depend on my day and my macro goals, but could have the rice and cauliflower as a base, then add the toppings. But perhaps it was one of those days where I wanted a bit of a lighter meal. Then I made the base more salad, and bingo, I could hit my macros. This flexible approach made my life a lot easier. And when things are easier, we can be consistent. Plus, everyone was happy, and I tracked my macros easily because I knew exactly what went into my bowl. let's be honest, even with the best system, things go sideways sometimes. Your kids get sick, work explodes, or you just forget to defrost the chicken. Here's how to handle the common challenges without throwing in the towel. First, always have emergency backups. I keep canned beans, frozen pre-cooked shrimp, and rotisserie chicken as my proteins. My frozen vegetables from Costco, or you can add to your regular shopping list those frozen veggies that steam in the bag, pre-cooked rice packets, and a few jarred sauces. I've been using an amazing balsamic glaze lately, and I'm slightly obsessed. When Tuesday went off the rails and I was waiting for my son's hockey practice to be over, knowing how easy it was to put things together once I got home and how good it felt to follow through with my intentions, these ideas saved me from the drive-thru. I saved money, calories, and took another step towards my goals. For midweek adjustments, remember that flexibility is built into this system. Didn't use the ground beef you prepped? It becomes tomorrow's lunch instead. Kids refuse the roasted broccoli? Throw it in an omelet for yourself. Nothing is wasted when you think in components instead of complete meals. You know what I've noticed? When we celebrate these small wins instead of dismissing them as not good enough, something magical happens. Our brains start looking for more opportunities to make positive changes. It's like we're training our minds to spot possibilities instead of perfectionism. And if you're tracking macros, here's the thing. Consistency beats perfection every time. One unplanned meal doesn't derail your goals. Track it as best as you can. Even estimating it done is good enough, and then move on. I see too many women throw away a whole week of progress because of one meal they felt wasn't meal. That's like slashing 3 tires because one went flat. And when things inevitably go sideways, because they will, here's your growth mindset moment. Take just 30 seconds to reflect. Not to beat yourself up, but to get curious. Ask yourself, what's one tiny thing I could adjust next time that might work 1% better? Maybe it's prepping one less meal. Maybe it's choosing more flexible recipes. Whatever it is, that 1% improvement compounds over time. And remember, the women who make the most progress aren't the ones who never mess up. They're the ones who use every setback as feedback to get better next time. That reflection moment is actually where all the growth happens, and where there is growth, there is momentum. And with momentum, motivation thrives. All right, let me pause here for a second. I want you to actually think about your typical Tuesday at 5 p.m. Where are you? What's happening around you? How are you feeling? Maybe you're in the car shuttling kids. Maybe you're just getting home from work. Maybe you're staring at the fridge wondering how it's already dinner time again. That's the moment we're preparing for. Not Sunday, you with energy and a plan, but Tuesday, you who's exhausted and just needs something to work. So here's your one thing challenge for this week. Pick one strategy from today's episode. Just one. Maybe it's scheduling your own power hour. Maybe it's buying pre-cut veggies without guilt. Maybe it's trying the deconstructed meal approach for one dinner. Whatever speaks to you, do that one thing consistently this week. And here's what I want you to notice as you do that one thing. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself about it. When you miss a day or it doesn't go perfectly, get curious instead of critical. If something doesn't go according to plan, work on thinking, well, that's interesting. That didn't work because, and figure out why, instead of automatically thinking, I'm so bad at this. Mindset is exactly what keeps people stuck. And guess what? Now you don't have to be. You have lots of approaches to try. Now, I know you might be feeling a little overwhelmed with all these ideas, and that's totally normal. So here's what I want you to do. Don't try to implement everything. Just pick one thing from today's episode. Maybe it's cooking double protein. Maybe it's trying my power hour concept. Maybe it's just boiling those eggs. Just one thing. That's your mission this week. And hey, if you're tired of the all or nothing cycle when it comes to food prep and honestly everything else in your health journey, I've got something for you. It's called the Mindset Reset Toolkit. It includes my all or nothing cycle breaker worksheet, which is perfect for those of you who've ever abandoned meal prep containers by Tuesday. Plus, you'll get my progress not perfection tracker and a bunch of other tools to help you actually stick with the changes you're making. It's completely free, and you can grab checking the show notes for the link. Next week, we're diving into strength training, and I'll share exactly how strength training completely changed not just my body, but my entire mindset about aging. You don't want to miss this one. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Come join us in the Macros Inc. Facebook group. Share your wins, share your struggles, share your Tuesday night pizza orders. We've all been there. It's a judgment-free zone where real people support each other in creating sustainable nutrition habits. Until then, remember, the best meal prep system is the one you'll actually do. Not the prettiest one, not the most elaborate one, but the one that works with your real life. Progress over perfection, always. I'm Catherine. Thanks for spending this time with me today. I really appreciate it. Now go pick your one thing and let's make this week amazing. Let's go.